Welcome to the Aurora Monthly Training on Lockout Tagout Authorized Personnel. Training Objectives. At the end of this course, you should understand the purpose of Lockout Tagout. Review previous incident and Lockout Tagout violations. Know your responsibilities under the Aurora Packaging Solutions (OPS) Lockout Tagout program. Be able to identify various types of primary and stored energy sources. Understand the OPS Lockout Tagout program requirements. Be able to perform Lockout Tagout safely and in accordance with procedures. Why Lockout Tagout? The purpose of Lockout Tagout is to prevent injury during servicing and/or maintenance due to the unexpected energization or startup of machines, equipment or processes, or the release of stored energy. Applicable regulations and policies. 29 CFR 1910.147 The Control of Hazardous Energy Lockout Tagout. OPSSA 01-6 Lockout Tagout Program. OPSSA 01-6-1 Lockout Tagout Zero Tolerance Policy. Warning: the following image contains graphic material. Viewer discretion is advised. This photo is one of our own coworkers. His hand was severely injured when it became caught in a bobst machine while he was trying to help unjam the machine. Team members can be seriously or fatally injured if machinery they service or maintain unexpectedly energizes, starts up, or releases stored energy. Here is an example of an incident that occurred at one of our sites. A maintenance team member was called in to clear a jam from the Mosca strapper unit tie zur. The maintenance team member requested the operator to press the button to cycle equipment. The operator pressed the button twice instead of once. The clamps closed on the maintenance team member's finger, resulting in amputation. Causes: Lockout Tagout was not performed. Tool for removing jam was not available. Maintenance asked for help when they should have worked alone. Lessons learnt: shut off and lock out all electric power before performing service. Machine operator onboarding was not properly trained and documented. It is vital that equipment is complete de-energized before performing activities in line of fire in any piece of equipment. Here are the 6 most common mistakes when discussing Lockout Tagout. 1. Not using lockout for a job that will take only a few minutes. 2. Ignorance towards use of multiple lockout procedure when more than one employee is working. 3. Leaving the key on the lock while performing lockout. 4. Asking another employee to shut off the machine and lockout devices. 5. Performing maintenance by just locking out control circuit and not verifying the lock of main disconnect or switch. 6. Not following the written procedure for lockout. Lockout Tagout, LOTO, is a safety procedure used in industry and research settings to ensure that dangerous machines are properly shut off and not able to be started up again prior to the completion of maintenance or servicing work. The primary goal is to prevent accidents and injuries that could occur if equipment were to start unexpectedly. The concept involves the use of locks and tags to isolate energy sources and provide a visual indication that equipment is in a safe or isolated state. Here's how it generally works. Lockout: the energy isolating device, e.g., a switch or valve, is physically locked in the off or safe position using a lock. Each authorized person working on the equipment applies their own lock. Tagout: a tag is attached to the lock device to provide additional information. This tag usually includes details like the name of the person who applied the lock, the reason for the lockout, and the date. Multiple locks: in situations where more than one person is involved in the maintenance or service work, each person applies their own lock to the lockout device. This ensures that each individual has control over the energy isolating device, and no one person can unlock it without the consent of the others. The use of individual locks is a critical safety measure because it adds a layer of accountability. Each worker is responsible for their own safety, and the presence of multiple locks signifies that multiple people are involved in the work, enhancing communication and coordination. Everyone must use their own lock. No exceptions. Responsibilities: managers and supervisors ensure all coworkers that perform LOTO are competent and trained, are knowledgeable in LOTO operations applicable to their area of responsibility. Enforce all LOTO requirements and procedures. Lead LOTO incident investigations. Authorized LOTO coworkers. Complete all required LOTO training. Follow all LOTO procedures and requirements. All coworkers. Be aware of LOTO operations taking place in their areas. Never remove a LOTO lock or tag that is affixed to equipment. Lockout tagout applies when employees are performing servicing or maintenance and there is a potential for injury from unexpected startup or release of stored energy. Common examples requiring LOTO. Maintenance activities, jam clearing, setup. Entering an open/close style of machine. Before a guard or safety device is removed. Before placing any part of your body in or near a machine's point of operation. Anytime an individual places any part of their body into the danger zone. The danger zone includes the point of operation, or an associated danger zone exists during a machine operating cycle. Definitions. Affected coworker. A coworker who does not perform LOTO, but who is required to use machines or equipment on which servicing is performed under LOTO or who performs other job responsibilities in an area where such servicing is performed. Authorized coworker. A coworker who locks or tags machines or equipment in order to perform servicing or maintenance. Energized. Machines and equipment are energized when they are connected to an energy source or they contain residual or stored energy. Servicing and/or maintenance. Workplace activities such as constructing, installing, setting up, adjusting, inspecting, modifying, maintaining and/or servicing machines or equipment, including lubrication, cleaning or unjamming of machines or equipment, and making adjustments or tool changes, where individuals could be exposed to the unexpected energization or startup of the equipment or release of hazardous energy. Types of hazardous energy. Primary energy equals main energy sources to a machine or piece of equipment. Stored energy equals residual energy that remains in the system after shutdown of primary energy sources. Energy types. Electrical, AC, DC, generator, battery. Mechanical, coiled springs, moving parts. Pneumatic, pressurized gas, compressed air. Hydraulic, water, oil, liquids. Thermal, steam, hot, cold. Chemical, acids, corrosives, caustics. Gravity, falling parts/tooling. General lockout tagout procedure, 7 steps. 1. Notify all affected personnel that you are about to perform LOTO. 2. Prepare, review the equipment-specific LOTO procedure to identify all the sources of energy and the lockout points. 3. Shut down, turn off the equipment using the normal method. 4. Isolate, disconnect or isolate all sources of energy, follow the equipment-specific procedure. 5. Apply LOTO, apply your assigned locks and completed tags. 6. Dissipate, bleed down, dissipate, or block any stored energy sources. 7. Verify, after ensuring that no personnel are exposed, attempt to start the equipment to make certain that it will not turn on or move. Caution, return operating controls to neutral position after the test. Important terminology. Zero energy state, ZS. Usually achieved with personal padlocks and identification tags. Example, main panel, labeled E1. Intermediate energy state, IS. Usually achieved with a key switch in the machine control circuitry. Example, operator's lockout. Zero energy state, ZS. When to use ZS. Performing installs. Electrical maintenance. Machinery maintenance. Servicing equipment. Removing bolted guards. Verify the equipment is de-energized. All stored hazardous energy has been bled down, dissipated, or blocked off, and the machinery has been locked out and blocked to zero energy state. Operator lockout intermediate energy state, IS. At Aurora, we refer to the IES as operator lockout. Operator lockout means that you don't completely shut down and lock out all energy sources. Operator lockout is used as a means of protection during routine and repetitive activities, provided that these activities do not expose coworkers to injury. Operator procedures may also be developed for jog power activities where the introduction of energy is integral to the task being performed. Operator lockout or IES procedures must be written, equipment-specific, approved, and posted to equipment. IES examples. Minor servicing activities that takes place during normal production when alternative effective protection is used. Hanging printing plates, or installing cutting dies, IES procedures. Use special tools to remove a part, which would keep their body out of the area, lockout would not apply and the machine is not running. Asterisk note the team member is not in the line of fire, not clearing a major jam with their hands or timing the machine. Example of an equipment-specific LOTO procedure. Another example of an equipment-specific LOTO procedure. After lockout tagout, restart procedures. When the job is complete and equipment is ready to be restored to power. Check that all personnel and tools are cleared from equipment. Ensure guards have been restored. Ensure all LOTO devices are removed by their individual owners. Notify affected personnel that the equipment is ready for operation. Special situations. Group lockout tagout. If more than one coworker works on the equipment, a hasp or other lockout adapter must be used so that all coworkers can apply their locks. Personnel changes in the middle of a job. If there is a personnel change in the middle of a job, the coworker who is leaving should remove his/her lockout tagout devices and the new coworker should perform lockout tagout with his/her own locks and tags. Procedure when work is left unfinished. If work goes overnight or through a weekend, all locks, tags, and other safety warning devices must be left in place. If work is suspended for more than a weekend, the equipment or machinery must be tagged as out of service, permanently disconnected from all energy sources, and must have its cover and access panels reinstalled. All locks and other tags must be removed. LOTO locks. Each person should have the proper number of locks to be able to perform LOTO according to the procedure. Locks should have the coworker name and photo. Red locks are required. There should only be one key that opens each lock, that key should be with the coworker who uses that lock. Tags and LOTO devices. Ball valve. Gate valve. LOTO tag, do not use without a lock. Circuit breaker. Electrical plug. HASPA, group LOTO. Abandoned lock removal. When a coworker leaves the facility and does not remove his/her lock, the responsible supervisor must complete a lock removal permit to ensure. Attempts were made to contact the coworker. There is no one working in or near the equipment. The equipment is safe to be returned to service. The plant/production manager has approved removal. No one should ever remove another person's lock unless this permit has been completed. Zero tolerance policy. Due to the serious nature and potential for severe injury or fatality, SAF, associated with LOTO violations, OPS has a lockout/tagout zero tolerance policy, which is posted to the safety website. The following disciplinary measures will be applied in the event of a LOTO violation. First offense. A first LOTO offense may result in termination unless deemed non-terminable by OPS. In the event that the incident is deemed non-terminable, OPS will determine the appropriate level of punitive action, if any. First offense violations will remain in the coworker personnel file for 12 months or for the time period specified in an applicable collective bargaining agreement, CBA. Terminated first offense coworkers are not eligible for rehire. Second offense. A second LOTO offense will result in immediate termination. Terminated second offense coworkers are not eligible for rehire. Any manager or supervisor that fails to enforce LOTO procedures or policy and/or fully investigate a LOTO violation is subject to disciplinary action. Training and reviews. All authorized coworkers must be trained and demonstrate competence. Classroom training. Practical demonstration of all equipment-specific LOTO procedures that he/she will be using. All LOTO procedures should be formally reviewed, and the review documented, on an annual basis. Lockout/tagout, LOTO, periodic inspection hands-on evaluation for authorized coworker. Annually performed and as needed basis. Performed by the supervisor to ensure all team members are performing lockout/tagout.
Thank you for participating on this training. If you have any questions, please reach out to your site leadership or the regional safety team. They will be glad to answer any questions you might have. Have a safe day.